You know, one thing that Deviri has reminded me to do is actually pay attention to some weapons that I haven't thought about in a very, very long time. And one of those weapons is the Lenz, a weapon that I haven't thought about in about 3 years. We're here in the simulacrum with Mag. Mag's mainly just there to group enemies up, otherwise it doesn't really matter. I want you to pay attention to the top right hand corner of the screen. Primary Frostbite is what I'm demonstrating today, because that has already gotten maximum stacks. And why is that? It is because the Lenz is one of the weapons that is very unique in that it has not only innate cold damage, but it also has a 100% chance of getting an innate cold proc, making it innately and uniquely useful with Primary Frostbite. This is the build that I am using on the Lenz. I feel like this is the best I can get with the resources that actually work on the Lenz, because you can look at some other things that you would like to use, for example, Galvanized Scope, but it is borderline impossible to get headshot kills with the Lenz, so I personally have decided against it. And Condition Overload, unfortunately, the additional damage that you get per status type is of course on direct damage, which is very much not AoE damage. And because the Lenz is primarily an AoE weapon, yeah, Condition Overload is pretty much off the table. Prime Shred causes the bomb part of the Lenz's arrow to actually fall through the floor, which effectively makes it null and void. And you could potentially use Prime Firestorm. It's not going to increase your damage per se, but it will increase the effective damage of your AoE, so that's always a good choice, but right now, I don't think that's really going to be super duper important, but you are welcome to use it. At that point, I would also need to put in another former to swap out Hammer Shot with Prime Firestorm, and even then I don't think I can actually fit it, because Prime Firestorm would result in 8 drain and I only have 6 energy left, so I'm gonna have to really play around with my build. But yeah, otherwise, the rest of this build should be pretty straightforward. Viral damage, I'm going for Amalgam Serration because I'm not using Deadhead, Merciless, or the other one. Galv Chamber, obviously, Vital Sense, Hammer Shot for more crit damage at this particular moment in time, and also because I happen to have a deep polarity slot here, so it is what it is. More crit chance, and I also have Lenz Sati Kritadra, which is a pretty decent looking Lenz Riven, all things considered. I'm pretty happy with it, so yeah, it's a pretty good Lenz Riven. And so Primary Frostbite, when you have your 40 stacks, you have plus 120% crit damage, which is basically what you get from Vital Sense, but then you also get plus 90% multi-shot, which is what you get from Split Chamber. So I suppose there's 2 schools of thought that you can look into with regards to Primary Frostbite. You could potentially use it as a way of replacing Vital Sense and Split Chamber, or you could potentially do what I'm doing, which is the double dip. That's basically where we're at with the Lenz in 2023 at the present moment. I feel like this weapon, it does uniquely have some characteristics that can be very, very helpful for just overall, like, being able to play around with different things, but even then, it kind of feels like it's not as strong as other AoE weapons, and I feel like that's been the case pretty much since the Kuva Brahma came out, so hopefully we'll see something later down the track that might actually make the Lenz a little bit stronger. That'd be nice. Generally speaking though, it's not that it's necessarily not performing at a level that is satisfactory, it's just not performing as hardcore as some other weapons, and particularly now that the Paris Incarnate is a thing, effectively turning the Paris Prime, or various other Parises of course, into an AoE weapon as well. It's just that many more AoE bows in the game. Do you really want to use the Lenz? I mean, you still can, it's absolutely perfectly fine, you'll be a-okay with it anyway, but I don't know, I feel like maybe the Riven disposition of the Lenz probably could use a bit of a bump up, because right now it's sitting at 3-dot disposition, feeling more like a 4-dot disposition weapon at the present moment. I don't know, let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed. If you liked this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warframe content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.